Hello everyone and welcome back to my top old coins. History today, we're exploring an incredible collection of beautiful coins featuring Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. We'll take a closer look at each coin's history, design, mint mark, rarity, interesting facts, and collector value. Whether you're an experienced coin collector or just starting your collecting journey, this video has something exciting for you. So sit back, relax, and join us as we discover these remarkable Queen Elizabeth II coins. Let's begin. The 1988 D Washington Quarter is one of the most recognized coins in modern United States coinage. Struck at the Denver Mint, this quarter carries the D mint mark and represents an important chapter in the long-running Washington Quarter series that began in 1932. Although millions of these coins were produced for everyday circulation, collectors continue to search for high-grade examples, mint errors, and varieties that can command impressive values. The obverse of the coin proudly displays the familiar inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1988, while the reverse features the majestic bald eagle with outstretched wings, surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America, EPLURIBUS UNUM, and quarter dollar. Every design element reflects the pride, history, and traditions of the United States. Even though the 1988 D quarter is common in circulated condition, pristine uncirculated examples remain highly desirable among collectors seeking to complete high-quality Washington Quarter collections. The Washington Quarter was originally introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of the first President of the United States, George Washington. What was initially intended as a one-year commemorative issue quickly became a permanent design due to its popularity. By 1988, the coin had already served Americans for more than 5 decades in everyday commerce. The portrait of George Washington on the obverse was designed by sculptor John Flanagan, whose elegant artwork remained largely unchanged for decades. The reverse eagle design also reflected strength, freedom, and national unity. The year 1988 marked a period when the United States economy was expanding, and quarters played a vital role in daily transactions, vending machines, parking meters, and countless other uses. Because of this heavy demand, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters to ensure an adequate supply throughout the nation. The 1988 D Washington Quarter was struck using a copper-nickel clad composition introduced in 1965. Instead of containing silver like quarters minted before 1965, the coin consists of an inner core of pure copper bonded between outer layers of copper and nickel. This composition gives the coin excellent durability while keeping production costs lower than silver coinage. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and features a reeded edge with 119 reeds. These precise specifications allow the coin to function properly in vending machines and coin-operated devices, while maintaining consistency with other quarters in circulation. Although the majority of 1988 D quarters remain worth only face value in circulated condition, collectors know that condition is everything. Coins displaying brilliant original mint luster, sharp strikes, and minimal contact marks can receive high mint state grades from professional grading services. High-grade examples certified as MS-67 or MS-68 are considerably scarcer than circulated coins and may sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on market demand. In addition, collectors carefully inspect every 1988 D quarter for doubled dies, off-center strikes, clip planchets, die cracks, broad strikes, and other mint errors that can dramatically increase value. Because error coins are produced accidentally during the minting process, each example is unique and highly collectible. The Denver Mint has played a significant role in American coin production since the early 20th century, producing billions of coins that circulate throughout the United States. The small D mint mark found on the obverse of the 1988 quarter identifies Denver as the place of manufacture. Collectors often compare coins from the Denver Mint with those produced at the Philadelphia Mint to identify differences in strike quality, luster, and preservation. While both mints produced large quantities of quarters in 1988, exceptional specimens from either mint can become prized additions to advanced collections. The 1988 D Washington quarter remains an outstanding example of modern American coinage, combining historical significance, practical everyday use, and exciting collecting opportunities for both beginners and experienced numismatists alike. Part 2 will cover the complete obverse and reverse design, minting process, specifications, mintage figures, and the historical background of the 1988 D Washington quarter in greater detail. The next up, top 2, the 1986 D Washington quarter, is one of the most recognizable coins in modern United States coinage. Produced at the Denver Mint and identified by the small d mint mark, this coin was struck for everyday circulation during a period when the American economy relied heavily on quarter-dollar coins for vending machines, parking meters, public transportation, laundromats, and countless daily cash transactions. The obverse displays the familiar portrait of George Washington, accompanied by the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1986. The reverse features the majestic heraldic eagle with spread wings, arrows, and olive branches beneath the inscriptions United States of America, EPLURIBUS UNUM, and quarter dollar. Although millions of these quarters entered circulation, collectors continue searching for high-grade specimens, attractive uncirculated examples, and valuable mint errors that can command significant premiums over face value. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. What was originally intended as a one-year commemorative issue became one of the longest-running coin series in American history because of its popularity and timeless design. The portrait of Washington was created by sculptor John Flanagan, whose design remained on the quarter for decades before the introduction of the state quarters program in 1999. By 1986, the Washington quarter had already served Americans for more than 50 years and had become one of the most widely recognized coins in circulation. Every 1986 D quarter represents a continuation of this rich tradition, combining artistic beauty with everyday usefulness. The Denver Mint, identified by the D mint mark, has played an important role in producing circulating coinage for the United States since the early 20th century. In 1986, it struck hundreds of millions of quarters to satisfy nationwide demand. These coins were manufactured using high-speed coining presses capable of producing thousands of coins every hour while maintaining strict quality standards. Blank metal discs known as planchets were prepared, cleaned, upset to form raised rims, and then struck under tremendous pressure between engraved dies. This process created the sharp portrait of Washington on the obverse and the detailed eagle design on the reverse. After striking, the finished quarters were inspected, counted, packaged, and shipped to Federal Reserve banks before entering circulation throughout the country. Like all circulating Washington quarters minted after 1965, the 1986 D quarter is made from a copper-nickel clad composition rather than silver. Each coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, has a thickness of about 1.75 millimeters, and features a reeded edge containing 119 reeds. The outer layers consist of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This durable composition provides the familiar silver appearance while greatly reducing production costs compared to earlier 90% silver quarters. The clad construction also resists corrosion and wear, allowing these coins to remain in circulation for decades. Although the majority of 1986 D Washington quarters remain common in circulated condition and are worth only 25 cents, condition plays a major role in determining value. Coins that retain their original mint luster, sharp strike, and minimal contact marks can receive high mint state grades from professional grading services. Examples graded MS65 or MS66 are popular among collectors, while exceptionally preserved coins graded MS67 or higher are much scarcer and may sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars in the numismatic marketplace. Collectors also examine every 1986D quarter carefully for mint errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, cuds, and other unusual varieties, since these errors can make an otherwise ordinary coin highly desirable. The 1986D Washington quarter continues to attract collectors because it represents a fascinating blend of American history, artistry, and modern minting technology. While millions were produced for everyday commerce, truly exceptional examples remain surprisingly difficult to locate. Whether found in pocket change, inherited collections, bank rolls, or dealer inventories, each 1986D quarter tells a story about American commerce during the mid-1980s and continues to inspire coin enthusiasts around the world. This combination of historical importance, collectible potential, and enduring design ensures that the 1986D Washington quarter remains one of the most interesting modern coins in the United States series. Next, Part 2 will cover the complete obverse and reverse design, technical specifications, mintage figures, minting process, and detailed collector information. The next up, Top 3, the 1998D Washington quarter, is one of the final Washington quarters produced before the introduction of the famous 50-state quarters program in 1999. Struck at the Denver Mint and identified by the small D mint mark, this coin represents the last chapter of the classic eagle reverse design that had been used for decades. The obverse features the familiar portrait of George Washington, along with the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1998. The reverse displays the traditional heraldic eagle designed by John Flanagan, surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America, EPLURIBUS UNUM, and quarter dollar. Although millions of these coins entered circulation, collectors continue searching for outstanding uncirculated examples, rare mint errors, and exceptionally preserved coins that can be worth much more than their face value. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Originally intended as a one-year commemorative issue, the design became so popular that it replaced the earlier standing Liberty Quarter permanently. By 1998, the Washington Quarter had served the American public for more than 65 years and had become one of the most recognized coins in the United States. The 1998D quarter is especially significant because it marks the end of the original eagle reverse design before the launch of the State Quarters series in 1999. For this reason, many collectors consider it an essential coin in completing a traditional Washington quarter collection. The 1998D quarter was produced at the Denver Mint using modern high-speed minting technology. Each coin began as a blank metal disc known as a planchet. The planchets were cleaned, heated, upset to form raised rims, and then struck under enormous pressure between hardened steel dies. This process transferred every detail of the design, including Washington's portrait, the lettering, the eagle, and the reeded edge. After striking, the coins were inspected, counted, and distributed through the Federal Reserve System before entering circulation across the United States. Like all circulating quarters produced after 1965, the 1998D Washington quarter is made from a copper-nickel clad composition rather than silver. Each coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, a thickness of about 1.75 millimeters, and a reeded edge. The outer layers consist of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a core of pure copper. This durable composition provides the familiar silver appearance while reducing production costs and ensuring that the coin can withstand years of circulation without significant wear. One of the reasons collectors continue to search for the 1998 D quarter is its potential value in exceptional condition. Most circulated examples remain worth only their face value of 25 cents, but brilliant uncirculated coins with strong luster, sharp strikes, and very few contact marks can command premiums. Coins certified in grades such as MS66, MS67, or higher by professional grading services are much scarcer than ordinary circulated examples. Collectors also examine every 1998 D quarter for valuable mint errors, including doubled dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clip planchets, die cracks, cuds, and other unusual varieties. Because genuine mint errors are produced accidentally during the striking process, they are highly sought after and can sell for substantial prices depending on their rarity and condition. Today, the 1998 D Washington quarter remains an important part of American numismatic history. It represents the conclusion of the original Washington quarter design that served the nation for generations before the transition to the state quarters program. Whether discovered in pocket change, inherited in a family collection, or purchased from a coin dealer, every 1998 D quarter reflects the craftsmanship of the United States Mint and the enduring legacy of one of America's most iconic circulating coins. For collectors, historians, and coin enthusiasts, the 1998 D Washington quarter continues to offer historical significance, collecting opportunities, and the excitement of finding a rare high-grade or error coin among ordinary circulation pieces. Part 2 will cover the complete obverse and reverse design, technical specifications, mintage, minting process, grading, and collector information in greater detail. The next up top for the 1991 P Washington quarter is a classic modern United States coin that was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as identified by the small P mint mark located on the obverse beside the date. This quarter belongs to the long-running Washington quarter series that began in 1932 and remained one of the most widely used circulating coins in America for decades. The obverse proudly displays the portrait of George Washington, together with the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1991. The reverse features the traditional heraldic eagle designed by John Flanagan, along with the inscriptions United States of America, EPLURIBUS UNUM, and quarter dollar. Although millions of these quarters were struck for everyday commerce, collectors continue to search for high-grade examples, brilliant uncirculated coins, and valuable mint errors that can be worth much more than face value. The Washington Quarter series was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Originally planned as a one-year commemorative issue, the design quickly became a permanent part of United States coinage because of its popularity and patriotic symbolism. By 1991, the Washington Quarter had already been in circulation for nearly 60 years and had become one of the most familiar coins in American daily life. These quarters were commonly used in vending machines, parking meters, public transportation, laundromats, arcade games, and retail transactions. As a result, the Philadelphia Mint produced an enormous number of quarters each year to meet nationwide demand. The 1991 P Washington Quarter was manufactured using a copper-nickel clad composition that had been standard for circulating quarters since 1965. Each coin consists of outer layers made from 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a core of pure copper. This durable construction provides the familiar silver-colored appearance while reducing production costs compared to the earlier 90% silver quarters. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, has a thickness of about 1.75 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. These precise specifications allow the coin to function reliably in vending machines and other automated equipment throughout the United States. Every 1991 P quarter began as a blank metal disc called a planchet. The planchets were carefully cleaned, heated, and prepared before being struck under tremendous pressure by hardened steel dies carrying the obverse and reverse designs. The striking process transferred every detail of Washington's portrait, the inscriptions, and the heraldic eagle onto the coin's surface. After production, the quarters were inspected, counted, packaged, and distributed through the Federal Reserve System before entering circulation across the country. Although strict quality control procedures were followed, occasional mint errors escaped inspection, creating collectible varieties that are now highly prized by numismatists. While most circulated 1991 P Washington quarters are worth only their face value of 25 cents, condition is the most important factor in determining collector value. Coins that retain their original mint luster, exhibit strong strikes, and have very few contact marks can receive high mint state grades from professional grading services. Exceptional examples graded MS66, MS67, or higher are much scarcer than ordinary circulated coins and often sell for significant premiums. Collectors also search for fascinating mint errors, including doubled dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clip planchets, die cracks, cuds, and other unusual production mistakes. Depending on the rarity and condition of the error, these coins can command impressive prices in the numismatic market. Today, the 1991 P Washington quarter remains an important part of American numismatic history. It represents the enduring success of one of the longest-running coin designs ever produced by the United States Mint, and continues to be collected by beginners and experienced numismatists alike. Whether discovered in pocket change, inherited in a family collection, or purchased from a coin dealer, the 1991 P quarter tells the story of American commerce, craftsmanship, and history. Its timeless design, historical significance, and the possibility of finding a rare high-grade or error example ensure that it remains a fascinating coin for collectors around the world. Part 2 will cover the complete obverse and reverse design, technical specifications, mintage, minting process, grading standards, rarity, and collector value in greater detail. The next up, top 5, the 1966 Washington quarter, is an important coin in the history of United States coinage, because it was produced during a period of major change at the United States Mint. This coin carries no mint mark, as all circulating coins struck from 1965 through 1967 intentionally omitted mint marks to discourage coin collecting and hoarding during the nationwide coin shortage. The obverse features the familiar portrait of George Washington with the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1966. The reverse displays the classic heraldic eagle designed by John Flanagan, surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America, EPLURIBUS UNUM, and quarter dollar. Although millions of these quarters were struck for everyday use, the 1966 issue remains historically significant because it belongs to the first generation of clad Washington quarters produced after the end of regular silver coinage. The year 1966 came during a period when the United States experienced a severe coin shortage. Rising silver prices had caused many people to save or melt older silver coins, reducing the number of coins available for circulation. To address this problem, the United States Mint continued producing the new copper-nickel-clad quarters first introduced in 1965. In addition, the Mint temporarily removed mint marks from circulating coins dated 1965, 1966, and 1967 so collectors would be less likely to hoard coins from a particular mint. As a result, every genuine 1966 Washington quarter has no mint mark, regardless of where it was produced. Unlike Washington quarters minted before 1965, which contained 90% silver, the 1966 quarter is made from a durable copper-nickel clad composition. Each coin consists of outer layers containing 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a core of pure copper. This construction gives the coin its familiar silver-colored appearance while making it less expensive to produce. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, has a thickness of about 1.75 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. These specifications have remained the standard for circulating United States quarters for many decades. The production of the 1966 Washington quarter began with blank metal discs called planchets. These planchets were cleaned, prepared, and passed through upsetting mills to create raised rims before being struck under tremendous pressure between engraved dies. This striking process impressed every design detail onto the coin, from George Washington's portrait to the heraldic eagle on the reverse. After striking, the coins were inspected for quality, counted, packaged, and distributed through the Federal Reserve System before entering circulation throughout the United States. Because billions of coins were needed during the coin shortage, production was extremely high, though occasional mint errors still escaped inspection. Today, the 1966 Washington quarter remains popular among collectors because of its historical importance and the possibility of finding valuable varieties. Most circulated examples are worth only their face value of 25 cents, but brilliant uncirculated coins with strong original luster and very few marks are worth considerably more. High-grade examples certified by professional grading services can command substantial premiums. Collectors also search for mint errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, and other unusual production mistakes. These error coins can be highly collectible, and depending on their rarity and condition, may sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The 1966 Washington quarter represents an important turning point in American coinage. It symbolizes the transition from silver to modern clad coinage and reflects the United States Mint's response to one of the greatest coin shortages in the nation's history. Whether discovered in pocket change, inherited in an old collection, or purchased from a coin dealer, every 1966 quarter tells a fascinating story about American history, technology, and commerce. For both beginning and advanced collectors, this coin remains an essential part of any Washington quarter collection because of its historical significance, distinctive no-mint mark status, and enduring popularity. Part 2 will cover the complete obverse and reverse design, technical specifications, mintage history, grading standards, collector values, and the most valuable 1966 no-mint mark quarter errors.